is not attributed to God, but it's attributed to human beings because God has given us free will. And it's the free will that humans exercise. Because imagine this now. Imagine we were human beings and we had no free will. And then if we were to do certain things, then we'd say, well, we don't actually have free will. Like, it's a rigged game, you know, it's rigged already. But the fact that we have free will...
I believe in free will as well. I believe that I can sometimes make a decision that is either good or bad for me or the other.
Yeah, and I think the trouble, that very problem that we have, and you know, the problem of theodicy, right? The problem of, no, what's the term? It's a particular term. The problem of evil, right?
Yes.
That problem can be answered very easily when it comes to certain things, but it's sometimes a bit more difficult with other things. For example, like illness, you know, or disadvantage that human beings have physically.
Yes, you're right, because illness can affect someone who is a very good person.
Yeah.
However, gets
why?
cancer,
Yeah.
And then you think, why this punishment?
Yeah. But like, I think what I had to learn was that things that are perceived as bad don't just happen to bad people. You know, this is a very easy way to understand the world, but the world is a bit more complex than that.
Yes, I can see that.
Right? Because sometimes, so say for example, the best example, global warming. I don't know what your stance on it, but say...
Well, you know, I stand with the scientists.
Okay, good.
I think, you know, I'm not an expert, so I have to rely like more on the people that study, that get the data, and dig into...
Yeah. Same.
There's still room for criticism, but it's almost quite proved already.
Okay. So
it makes sense to me in my heart, you know, like we built this amazing civilization.
Yeah.
With all our horrible problems, humanity has achieved a lot of things.
Yeah.
But we've forgotten about the impact.
Yes.
Which we still depend completely on this.
Yeah. I mean,
I understand in my heart why this is happening.
These things are happening, and the example I wanted to use was that although the developing countries are believed to create the most mess, we see now recently with Pakistan and other places in the country that they are...
I have a friend who has family there.
Yeah, so they're basically picking up the receipts for the very thing that we've bought into.
You know,
the damage.
And they hardly have had any impact on the, the atmosphere.
So evil sometimes, or what is perceived as evil, can happen by way of what happens elsewhere. You know, there's this like interconnectivity that can create problems in one place in a part of the earth, and it affects another part of it very badly, even though they have nothing to do with this. And that is just a stark reminder to us human beings how connected we are, how one we are.
And I don't think it's something new, even though in the past people couldn't fly like so easily.
Yeah.
But there was, those migrations.
Yes.
From trying to find food or or when they were hunting gatherers.
Yeah. Of course.
To live better.
Of course.
And they might take, instead of one day, they might take months, but they moved.
They moved.
And
human beings have always been moving.
Sometimes they became friends, sometimes they engaged into wars and fights.
Yes. And then, but the question is, how do we answer it when that little baby, that little baby has cancer, These things.
Yes, I don't understand that.
Right. So very difficult to wrap around. But the fact that this book claims that there is something that comes after this life, gives me reassurance that everything that has happened and everything that will happen and everything that's happening has a purpose and it has a meaning to it. And it makes it much more easier for me to live, because I know that when I die, it's not over. When that baby unfortunately goes away, it's not over. There's going to be a reckoning, there's going to be a recompense, and a substitution for all the pain. So, that's a tradition in the Hadith tradition. The Prophet Muhammad says that
Hadith, what does it mean, Hadith?
Hadith is narrations from the Prophet.
Like
the sayings,
sayings.
And they're all authenticated. They have a way of wisdom, yes. And he says that a believer, all free of charge, by the way, guys, A believer is not stung by as small as a thorn of a plant or a rose, except that it takes away the sins that the human accumulates, you know. So pain and evil, if you like, sometimes, or illnesses are a mechanism to redeem the human being from the things that we do, you know. So God's mercy is saying, look, you're not going to enter paradise because you're perfect, nor do I want you to be perfect, because it's virtually impossible. However, there are certain mechanisms I've put into the world that when you come on the day of judgment, and the way I think about it is also like a marathon. Say you've run, and you see the final line, right? And you cross.
And then that's the most difficult part when you see
right?
final.
Yeah, right?
You made it all the way, and then you see, and then it's exhausting because
exhausting, right? Yeah, I see it that
takes ages to.
Yes, so that's why I believe will happen in the day of judgment. That a lot of us will be there exhausted, and God is going to see that and it's going to be like, wow.
I'm often exhausted, you know. It's
yeah.
Because I'm healthy, touch wood.
Yeah.
But I think it's always, maybe sometimes I want to cut off from the news because it's really, spiritually, it's exhausting.
To constantly...
Yes, and I mean, you know, in some ways it's really good when we know everything what happens in the world, like in Pakistan, in Ukraine, Yemen, you name it. But all that suffering kind of, even though if I'm not aware of it, it has an impact on
it drains you, yes.
It drains me and makes me tired. Sometimes I wonder why I'm tired.
Yeah, I would say that I personally, I have developed ways on how to sometimes just cut off, you know.
Yes.
It's not in my responsibility to save the world.
That's true. My shoulders were too much.
Right? It's within my proximity, my family, you know, my friends. This is like the first priority. If I am able to have an impact in that environment, and that's all I do my whole life, then
within your powers.
Within my powers, I'm sure that God will have.
No, I agree with that.
But it's noble, and it is something that we are encouraged to do as well, to think about other people, and we do.
Yes. I mean, when I go, like,
but you
I
can't
like
do
walking in like High Park or in the countryside.
Yeah.
And that kind of, it's good for me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like connected with.
Yeah, I think you should be easy on yourself, and not take all the burdens of the earth. Because that's what essentially drives you to be like, this is too much, you know, I can't deal with all of these pain.
I'm lucky I enjoy the little things. Like
I
love having a coffee. And meeting a friend.
Yeah.
I don't need a Ferrari to be happy, that's what I mean.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind trying one day, but I don't think I need to keep one of those cars.
Sure.
Like when you go to the roller coaster or something.
Yeah.
I'm not seeking those kind of things. Simple things, if you learn to enjoy them.
Yeah. It's a good way to live. It's a good way. But anyway, it's nice talking to you.
Yes, very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for this.
Yeah, sure.
I have to go because I'm working now.
Yeah, I can tell your body language.
On Sundays I cycle past the High Park.
Okay, yeah.
But this is really nice because I thought it would be actually a good idea to read the Quran.
Yeah.
And then, know firsthand what it says.
What it says, Yes. It's open.
Coming from a different culture is important.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's such an important, religion.
Yeah.
To learn about it and to understand it.
Yeah.
And I have neighbors from Somalia who
Okay.
go to there's like a little mosque.
Yeah.
It's like a house, but they use it as a...
They transformed it into a mosque.
Yeah. So I want to know more, and then just thought, oh wow.
Yeah. We hear every Sunday.
Whether it's chance or fate, but it's nice to find.
If you have any questions, if you have any questions, come back.
Yes. It's in English.
Yeah, English, yes.
Because I don't understand.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Nice to meet you anyway.
My name is
Jose.
Dawood. Jose
and Dawood.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. Spain, yeah?
Spain.
Bye. Hi guys. Good, good. You got Islam.